shitting me?
Welcome back to Are You Shitting Me? The show where ancient accidents become modern necessities. Imagine you're a caveman about 13,000 years ago and you've got some leftover grain porridge in a bowl. You forget about it for a few days because, prehistoric ADHD. You come back, it smells funky, it's bubbling, it looks alive. Do you toss it? Nope. You drink it, and suddenly you feel amazing. Congratulations, Oog. You just invented beer. And you've accidentally started humanity's longest running bad, good decision. This is the story of how beer, yes, beer, may have been the real reason we stopped hunting and started building cities. Not because of progress or agriculture or religion, but because someone got tipsy on fermented oatmeal and said, hey, let's stay here and grow more of that stuff. Honestly, that's the most relatable motivation for anything I've ever heard. I'm Brett, and this is Are You Shitting Me? Something I learned while avoiding real responsibilities. Nobody truly knows how beer started, but most likely it was an accident. Ancient folks were making porridge, kind of like oatmeal, but sadder. They'd soak the grains in water, heat it up, and make this thick, chunky gruel. One day somebody forgot to clean up. Wild yeast floated in, started munching on sugars, farted out carbon dioxide, and boom, fermented porridge. So beer was basically invented by people who were too lazy to do the dishes, which explains why college apartments smell the same way. In college, my roommate once left a cereal bowl under his bed for a month. It started foaming. If he had waited another week, we could have opened the first microbrewery in the dorms. Here's where it gets bonkers. Beer didn't just happen with civilization, it created civilization. People realized, hey, if we plant grain, we can make more of that feel-good juice. Suddenly we had farmers, permanent homes, and enough free time to invent taxes. The Sumerians even had a goddess of beer, Ninkasi. They wrote her a hymn that doubled as the world's first recipe. That's right, humanity's first cookbook was basically a song about getting hammered. And then came Egypt. The pyramid workers, they were paid in beer. 4 to 5 liters a day, basically over a gallon of beer. The next time someone says beer makes people lazy, remind them, the pyramids were built by buzzed construction workers. Meanwhile, I can't even assemble IKEA furniture sober. In ancient Mesopotamia, brewing became a profession, and it was dominated by women. They had 3 goddesses protecting their work, basically the holy trinity of happy hour. These women discovered that reusing the same fermentation vessel gave more consistent results. The original house yeast. Think of it like sourdough starters, except instead of bread, they made something that made family reunions tolerable. Even King Eye for an Eye Hammurabi himself had tavern laws. I'm picturing ancient stone tablets reading, "Thou shalt not water down the beer," like it's a commandment. Fast forward to medieval Europe, where beer was everywhere. Men, women, kids, all drinking it. Let's BFFR. It wasn't 7% IPAs, it was 2% liquid bread. So no, medieval kids weren't drunk, just hydrated. Water back then was basically poison roulette, but beer was boiled and fermented, way safer. And the monks? Oh, they perfected the art. Brewing became their side hustle. They prayed, they brewed, and they profited. Medieval monks were basically running religious dive bars. Come for the salvation, stay for the saison. Then came the 13th century Germans with the most important discovery since fire, hops. Before hops, beer was flavored with Groot, a grab bag of herbs that made every pint taste like witch soup. Hops added bitterness and kept the beer from spoiling. Suddenly, beer could travel. England fought this at first. Traditionalists wanted their pure ale, but hops won. Because, let's be honest, nobody misses the taste of fermented salad. Then, in the 1700s, brewing finally met science. Thermometers and hydrometers let brewers measure things instead of just hoping. And in 1857, Louis Pasteur discovered that yeast was alive. Before that, they kind of thought that fermentation was magic. Fast forward to now, beer is a multi-$100 billion global industry. There are beers with chocolate, coffee, chili peppers, even pizza. Somewhere in the great cave in the sky, an ancient caveman is watching us and going, "You ruined it." And yet Belgium's Lambic brewers are still using wild yeast from open windows, just like the first accidental cavemen did. So we've gone from caveman bowls to stainless steel precision and somehow circled back. Almost every culture claims beer was a gift from the gods. In Finland's national epic, they wrote more lines about the invention of beer than about the creation of humans. The Egyptians said the goddess Sekhmet was tricked into drinking red beer that she thought was blood, and that's how she chilled out. So technically, beer stopped a murder spree. Try doing that with kombucha. But in reality, beer wasn't divine intervention. It was a happy accident born of laziness and questionable hygiene. So the next time you crack open a cold one, remember, you're participating in the oldest human tradition, screwing up and finding a way to make it work. From forgotten porridge to pyramid paychecks, monastery monks to microbreweries, beer's been our most loyal drinking buddy for 13,000 years. I'm Brett, and this is Are You Shitting Me? Something I learned while avoiding real responsibilities. Tune in next time when we talk about